This is NBC Nightly News, Monday, March 28th, with John Chancellor and David Brinkley reporting from the NBC News Center in New York.
Good evening. John Chancellor is off tonight. He'll be back tomorrow. In the horrible air crash in the Canary Islands, what is known now is that at least 578 people died, the worst ever. What is not known now is exactly what caused it to happen. Here on a diagram of the Tenerife airport in the Canary Islands with some models, we will show you what facts we have been able to get at this hour. The two planes were parked here at the terminal. Normally, to roll to the end of the runway, they would have used this taxiing strip. But it was crowded with parked airplanes, and so they both were rolled out this way. KLM in front, Pan American behind it. Exactly how far, we don't know. KLM rolled down here, off into this little side place, down the taxiway, to the end of the runway, and sat there waiting to take off. Pan American was rolling down behind it. At about this point, the tower said to the Pan Am pilot, "Are you clear of the runway?" He said no. At about this point, he saw the KLM plane charging toward him. He tried to turn into this ramp to avoid it, was too late, and they collided at that point, with the result, as we say, 578 people dead. David Burrington is on the scene in the Canary Islands and has a report for us now.
The airport here today still looked like a graveyard for airplanes, the lone runway cluttered with the broken remains of the two big jets. Several teams of investigators arrived to hear conflicting stories as to what went wrong. KLM experts from Holland said air traffic controllers had goofed, with the result that the two planes were on the same runway at the same time. Some Spanish officials, however, blamed the KLM pilot. Whatever the truth, it shouldn't be hard to figure out once tape recordings are analyzed of conversations between pilots and tower prior to the disaster. The situation was complicated by thick fog and heavy traffic just before the crash. The survivors, most of whom lost members of their family in the crash, told what happened.
A crash. It was a tremendous explosion. There was fire. There was gasoline spewing out. There was smoke. The fumes were awful. But the whole cabin next to me was just completely gone.
I saw flames coming, so I figured, I saw my mom go, and I looked at my dad, and he told me to jump, so I just crawled out and jumped.
Could you tell that a lot of people were not going to make it?
It's not something I thought about. You know, I was trying to get the immediate people around me out, and then I figured I should go. It wasn't frightening, you know, I wasn't frightened. It was, you kind of realized, well, wait a minute, it might blow, so I should go. But people were calm, they weren't really screaming or anything, and you don't think about it. You just saw the flames, and it was time to go.
Well, my first thought was, wait, the fire engines would come out there. But then it got so bad where we were, and we knew they weren't coming, that we had to get off. And I knew that I wasn't going to stay in there and burn up.
And how does it feel to be a survivor in what is the world's largest air crash?
It feels great to be alive. I'd be lying if I said anything else.
One final irony, a new international airport is now under construction on the other side of the island. Much bigger, more modern, better weather. There's general agreement that had it been in operation, the crash here would never have happened. David Burrington, NBC News on Tenerife Island.
The flight recorder from the Pan American plane is on the way to Washington for analysis. The Spanish government is holding the tapes from the control tower. Most of the American victims were from California and had gone on a chartered airplane trip. Here's Roy Neal in Los Angeles.
More than 40 of the California passengers bought tickets at this travel agency. One of the agency's owners was among the survivors. About 35 of the passengers lived in the Leisure World retirement community at Laguna Hills. After the crash, some of the survivors talked to their families in Southern California. Joan Holt of San Diego was on the plane. She talked to her mother, Mrs. Bernice Batten.
And she was quite nervous, terribly nervous. But she says, Mama, I just wanted to tell you, I'm all right. Mama, I'm all right. We're all right. We're alive. the others. I said, are you going on with your trip? She says, oh, Mama, most of the people were killed that was on the plane. And I said, can I write you? Silly question. She says, Mama, I'll let you know later just how everything is. But I'm alive, she said. We're alive.
Today at Los Angeles International Airport, other passengers filled the Pan American ticketing area, where last Saturday, 364 people met to board a charter 747 jet for the Canary Islands. Roy Neal, NBC News, Los Angeles.